Hello, this is Kevin Carnage. I'm back again with another What If. This is part 3 to What If Naruto was triplets and Kushina survived. Quick recap on what happened in episode 2. We have Naruto uh, with his mischievousness finding his way to the Sand Village and making Gara his and becoming friends with Gara. Granted, he beat the crap out of him, but he became friends with Gara. One thing I didn't explain that the Kazakage um, reached out to Kushina to help Gara's seal, so Gara can sleep now. So there's none of these crazy stuff. And I have a surprise with Gara. I know some other What If already made it, but I like Gara. His character is amazing. Anyway, back to it. And now Naruto, Sakato, and Nagato are in the academy. Naruto failed the academy twice, so he had to repeat 2 years. And his brother and sister, feeling not to leave their brother behind, also purposely failed the class. And Kushina took over the village. I mean, not the village, but the how you call them, the but Sasuke, the Uchiha clan. I mean, the Uchiha compound. She didn't take over. She just take over their decision making and stuff like that. Meaning, the everyday routine. And now, Kushina's house in the Uchiha are one. I mean, she still live at the end, but then they have to see her before and to for any important details. And we left off with Sakato confronting Hinata Hyuga. Here we're going to start off with a little side story. We go to a month back in the past, flashback. Kushina, Naruto, Nagato, and Sakato are training, but here their mindscape, let's say their mindscape is forever connected. It's like so Kurama, Shidai, Kenma, and KJ, they all interact as if they were outside. So we're gonna put a mental image of an outside world where Kurama is talking, training, and giving them tips on how to cooperate with their host, as it to not overload them with chakra or not give them too little chakra, and to stuff like this. And he's teaching them we're gonna make up one. It's like we're taking frog kumite and taking the word frog and add fox kumite. So he's teaching the cubs, the pups, the foxes, the young foxes, them damn dog and cat. But he's teaching his kids fox kumite, and they're having a blast. One scene is where Kurama, let's give him a summoning jutsu, summoned a rabbit, and this rabbit is, let's say Kurama gave him 60% of his chakra. Right now, the kids are about 50%, so 60% is just to, give them leverage. And he summoned 3 rabbits, like rabbits, yeah. These rabbits are bad. They're to catch these rabbits, and they could, catch the drift of speed, strategy, and overall understanding of the battlefield. And it say this go relatively well, and we're gonna say yeah, Kenma's the oldest, so yeah, it's all twisted. So Kenma's the oldest. Shidai's the second, and Kurama Jr. is last. In Kurama Jr. doesn't even try. He chucked a few tail beast bomb at the rabbit with no avail, and he said it's too hard. He's like, yeah, he's not into it. Granted, Kurama Jr. has he's strong. He just doesn't put effort into a lot of stuff. Not yet. And so this goes, and Shidai is the one who captured her rabbit first. She actually went all beastly on it and bit off their ears, and it poofed away. And she kind of feel lost, because then she was looking forward to eating that. Yeah, we're gonna say she wanted to eat that, but it's chakra. And then Kenma caught his, and he didn't do anything. He just sat on it the whole while. We know Kenma is the punch and kick and ask no question type of guy, but these to him are not the opponents he wants. He wants the people like Son Goku, the other tail beast. He wants to test his skills against other tail beasts, and so he's not ready yet. He's not there. And Kurama Jr. is just like he manifested a flower with a yellow butterfly, and he was just poking it with his nails. And Kurama now sees Kurama Jr. in the corner and yells at him, and Kurama Jr. was startled, not focusing in how could I say this? Instinctively formed a tail beast bomb, and this is where we're going to give Kurama Jr. a special skills. He can temporarily, no jutsu, slow down time, and it's like a second, but it will gradually go up from there. And Kurama noticed this, because then the beast bomb Kurama Jr. formed just vanished, and his eye it vanished, and it blew up the bunny like boom boom boom. And Kurama says, what is this power? And he hasn't seen anything like it. And he's dumbfounded. He says he's trying to explain what happened. Everything became silver. Everything became black and white, and everything started moving slowly. And he saw the bunny, and he blasted it into oblivion. And Kurama doesn't understand, and so he's like, is this due to his spirit being stripped? Divided into three, plus let's say some of the chakra from the kids, and so had influence in the development of these new nine tails. So yeah, so he's thinking all that into consideration, and he tells Kushina, but Kushina decided to let's leave it for now, and we'll come to it when it's necessary. And it stays that way. And now we skip back to a month. We go back into the present time, where Sakato is questioning Hinata, and Hinata is she's unconsciously giving away precious details, like she at the beginning she asked what did if any of her brothers did her something, and instead of saying no, they did not, she said no, Naruto didn't do anything to me. And every time she and she dies, this type of person, she knows how to pry information. Remember, she's friend with Ramen Girl, and she's been talking stuff like, what an 8-year-old shouldn't know, she knows. She knows, but she still goes ill and stuff like that, but she really do wants to kiss. We're going to give you more detail into what Sakato's type will be in a couple of years. But anyway, so here Sakato and Hinata are going to be friends at the beginning. So this is going to be Sakato trying to get Naruto to understand that she has a crush on her, and this is going to be fun for her because this is beside lecturing Naruto and trying to make Nagato. We're gonna say Nagato is smart, and he's the one that always come up with idiotic things to make Naruto do. Now, the part about Naruto getting lost constantly, that's his own fault. He's just clumsy in, let's say he has a bad lucky nature. He's a lucky ledger. Yeah, I got that from Fire Force. Yeah, but anyway, he has a lucky something that kicks in every now and again, and this is the reason why he keeps ending up in other villages with him not knowing how he got there. And yeah, so we go to about a week time skip into it, and we're gonna say all the three of them, they have great no, Nagato and Sakato have great chakra control. They know the tree climate exercise, the water walking exercise. Saratobi gave them scrolls on chakra control, so they're extremely versed in chakra control. Naruto, who quote unquote is stronger than both of them, but it's not apparent now, has a higher chakra pool. Like Nagato and Sakato has great immense chakra. I mean, they have high chakra pool, but we're gonna say compared to the both of them, Naruto leaves them in the dust. And this is why Naruto's chakra control is a little bit, it's not bad. He knows the tree walk, the tree climbing exercise, water walking exercise, and stuff like that. But then when it comes to other jutsus like the clone jutsu, it's a little difficult for him. So he knows the shadow clone jutsu, water clone jutsu, earth clone jutsu. They all do. Just that Sakato and Naruto knows the clone jutsu. Naruto does not. So they know various styles of clone jutsu and ninjutsu. Ninjutsu, genjutsu. Naruto doesn't know genjutsu. He has takano jutsu. Sakato, she's good at genjutsu. Nagato is right in there, but yeah. So 2 weeks, 2 weeks have passed, and they're doing their this test in it's like the preparation test for the real test that is going to happen in 6 months from now, the time we're in now. Yeah. And so they're just showing off, and they did relatively well, and they excuse the siblings, and they say that No, they excused Naruto and they made him do the shadow clone, and they look up the score, and we're gonna say he's still going to fail the you know written exams and stuff like that. He's not gonna fail. He's gonna barely pass this time, but that's the reason why he's always failed is due to no, he failed the academy twice is because when they're doing the test, Naruto's lucky leisure leads him to go exploring someplace, and he missed out on the exam, getting a score of 0 twice. And yeah, he got whooped, and yeah, but he always did good, and you won't know how many people out of the village loves Naruto. Yeah, that's we're gonna say all his bad luck leads to good consequences. So we're gonna leave that bad luck streak on him. And yeah, so now Sakato and Hinata are planning on no, Sakato is planning on having Naruto and Hinata get trapped in the storeroom. She's gonna trap them in the storeroom. Just know that they are going to get trapped, and she is going to trap them in the storeroom. So she's planning this out, and Nagato noticed her, and he noticed, and he saw a couple flaws in her planning, and instead of you know saying no, we shouldn't do this to our little brother, it's me, he went and said, no, it's not gonna work there. You have to tell him that the ramen got delivered, because they ordered ramen at school, and you have to tell them the ramen got delivered to the storeroom clerk, and he will be there. And so the plan goes off without a hitch. Let's put it down to this. In Naruto is inside, and he finds a note, and he says, and this is Sakato, of course, and says, you have 2 hours to figure out what your life goal is going to be. In poof, say, yeah, before they were playing, she tricked Hinata into, they thought they were playing hide and seek, and they went and hide into the storeroom. And so yeah, and yeah, and where she was hiding, there was a note. Hinata found a note as well, and says to, and in the note it says that to Hinata that you have 2 hours to confess to the person you have a crush on, and or the room will fill up with gas. And this, they read it at the same time, and she just bust open the hiding spot where she was in. Let's say she was in a metal box like thing, and she burst open holding the note, and face to face with Naruto. Naruto looks at her, and she looks at him, and she got red and passed out and woke up. We're gonna make it a little dramatic, and we're gonna say 30 minutes into 30 hour and a half passed, and she woke up 30 minutes to the appointed time that the place is going to be filled with this poison gas. And she and Naruto is like, Naruto is sitting there, and now he's sitting there with Hinata's head on his lap because it was a concrete floor and it was kind of cold in there, and he's nice. He's a nice dude. He's a nice kid. So his mom's there, so he knows how to treat. He knows not to be disrespectful to a girl, but then mom has Kushina hasn't talked about crushes and liking a girl yet because they're only 8. Come on. I have a hard time telling my daughter, um, you know, the feeling you have in your heart, the reason why you're hitting the boy is now, yeah. So they go like this in Naruto. Keep asking her question, but then he's not remembering who this girl is, really. But then flashback to the past. Naruto was about 4 years old. No, 5 years old. Yeah, he was about 5 years old. Kushina and everything was revived and all this, and they started training, and he was good. When I say good at taijutsu, good, and he was walking through the forest, and he saw 6 kids. He saw 6 kids. They had sticks and stuffs in their hand, and he went over thinking that they probably was poking an ant's nest or something, because yeah, that's a thing. And when he came over, he saw that there was someone there, and they're all poking the person with a stick. So he immediately ran to the aid of the person, and he did a couple flipped, and when he arrived, he landed on his hand, and he spun around, kicking all 6 of the kids, right? He didn't connect properly, but then they all got hit. Yeah. Some of them got in the face, some on the arm, hands. You know how it is. He was just, it was just wild. He ain't giving a fuck who he was kicking. He just made sure that the person on the ground is not the one he's kicking. And then they started taunting and teasing, and then one of them recognized this Naruto, and they start calling him monster, demon. And one of them said, "My mom says he's the one that killed his family, killed his father." So they're all demons. In Nagato and Sakuto, like I say, they don't really like to leave Naruto by himself due to he's a person that easily gets lost. Granted that he always find a way back home, but and they're hearing this, and they're fighting their urge not to go, and they're going to beat these guys up, but they're fighting their urge right now because then Naruto, he likes to think he can handle stuff on his own, and he'll be pretty upset if he has to be protected by his older brother and sister. And so they stayed back, and this comment kind of hit Naruto hard, because then they mentioned that his mom was a vegetable for about many years, and one of the nurses is one of the kids' mother, and he said, "Oh yeah, my mom talks about his mom a lot. They say she's stupid. My mom cuts her a lot, and we even have pictures of stripping her in, beating her." Yeah, I saw it, and this didn't enrage Naruto. It just made him, let his guard down, and they started hitting on him. But he instinctively uh, jumped over the person that was lying there, and because they were gonna hit the person as well, they didn't care. They thought they were both together. So he's getting beat, in Sakato and Nagato is behind a tree, and Sakato done already gripped the tree, and her fist is inside the damn tree now, and we're gonna put a face on the tree at the beginning and the end of her gripping. It show that the tree has pain, so we're gonna change the view up. Every time Sakato squeezes, the face on the tree changes. It's not a living thing. We're just gonna make it as a comedic effect. And they get tired of beating, and one of the kids peed on Naruto, and they started walking off, laughing and laughing and bragging about what they just did. But then immediately they felt a dark energy behind them. When they turn around, now we're gonna say Nagato can do the tentacly here thing, but it's shorter, and yeah, it doesn't happen often. It only happens when either Naruto pushed it too far, or something happens that goes too far, and they turn around and they see two dark figures with they don't know what it is. They thought it was tentacles, and they were wiggling, and all of a sudden the tentacles grabbed around one of the kids and dragged it so fast that no one knows. And this kid was way in the back, the front. He was walking front first, and grabbed them, and they didn't even see it. It was right in front of their faces, but they only felt the breeze fly past, and when they look back, the kid is gone, and he's up in a tree, folded like a briefcase. And they started running. They're like, "Oh my god, monsters! What is going on?" And one by one, Sakato grabbed one first. You can hear him scream in the back. Then Nagato grabbed another one. You could hear the scream in the back. And they left the ringleader for last. So they both come up to the ringleader, and he started screaming. He just peed on Naruto, but he never pissed this much ever in his life. When I say he pissed till it looked. He got white. He got pale skin. You could see his skeleton, like he just pissed out all his bodily fluid, to how scared he was, and they went back and see that the girl was holding on to, the person was holding on to Naruto's scarf. He left it there because that's the only thing that they didn't pee on, and she looked like she was cold. And he went back, and they pretended that nothing happened. Naruto didn't say anything, and they had word with the girl, and they asked them where the brother go, and she said he left off in the direction to their house. And she didn't know that was their direction. She just pointed to a direction, and they know that was the direction to their house. And so they didn't get her name either. So yeah, this is why the confusion with who she was later. And now we skip back, and Naruto finally decided to ask Hinata her name. It's 5 more minutes, and they both got the, if you don't realize who you like, you're gonna die in 2 hours message. In Kushina had, I mean, Hinata had, if you don't confess to the person you like, you'll die in 2 hours. But they both had, you're gonna die in 2 hours situation. And she said, my name is, doing the shy thing and buckling her hand and saying, my name is Hinata Hyuga. And he said, oh, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. Believe it. And then he got sad because then he remembers that we're gonna die in 5 minutes. And he's like, what's the difference with liking a girl and liking ramen? And Hinata is like dumbfounded. She's like, what kind of question is that? And he says, my sister, I know this is my sister, and she told me about, it's not the same thing with liking ramen and liking a girl. And we're gonna say Naruto did notice Hinata, and he's comparing the feeling he has to ramen with Hinata, and he's like, she's like, I don't know, but if ramen makes you happy and you like ramen and you think of someone and you think of ramen, then I think you could say, it's still the same sense. And he looks at her and she says, yeah, because then I like you the same way I like ramen. No one else. I've been watching you for a few months now, and I see you always talking to my sister with no one else. And there's this big guy, and yeah, because then Naruto made the mistake of telling Choji that he was chubby, and they're not friends. They're not friends, but they're not enemies. They just Choji did the partial or the chubby chub jutsu and rolled on top of Naruto, and Naruto bit Choji, and that's how the feud is. But yeah, and this opened Hinata's eyes, because then, if y'all know, Naruto likes ramen, and if he compare you to something he likes, he likes you too. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but yeah, I'm sticking to it. And 2 minutes, and Hinata is like, she had her mouth open, and she's like, couldn't breathe, and Naruto, did a Sasuke move, but with one finger poked her on her forehead, and it was like he touched the spill your secret button, because then I've liked you since you saved my life 4 years ago. I've looked for you. I know your name. I know where you live. I know your sister. I love you, Naruto. And this made the two notes poofed into smokes, and Sakato came out and said, see, was that hard? And Nagato was laughing in the background, and he's like, and now Naruto's face was red, that he repeated what Hinata did at the beginning of the conversation. He fainted because then all of it flashed back. He saw so many beautiful girls, and they all were disgusted by him. So he never pictured himself or pictured a girl liking him. He stared at Hinata when she's not staring at him, but they're both staring at each other in points where they're not, I mean, eye to eye. So, say I look at you for a brief second and I stop and you turn around and look at me because then someone told you, but when you looked at me, I'm not looking at you anymore, something like that. And um yeah, and so we're gonna start the relationship here. Hinata and Naruto. Naruto wakes up an hour and a half later, same as Hinata, but this time it's reversed. Hinata has Naruto on her lap, and the note there, it was, in great details, laughing, and you look so adorable when you're sleeping by his sister and brother, and I hope you take care of Hinata. She's a very nice girl. Someone as nice as her to have a crush on you for 4 years is worth keeping. P.S. I'm telling mom. And he jumped up and he tried to run back because then he knows he's not gonna get whooped, but Kushina is very loving as well. So he's gonna get that hug of love. Yeah. He rather the whooping. Just saying. And Hinata held on to his clothing and and asked him if he heard her, and he said Naruto says loud and clear, and he says to Hinata that he feels the same way, and he now understands the difference. And Hinata stops him and says, "Do you like ramen?" And he says, "It's my favorite. I love it." And, "Do you like me?" And Naruto says to her, "Ever since you started the academy, I've liked you more than ramen, but I can't eat you," and that's what I couldn't understand. And she started laughing, and she says, "Do you know what being a boyfriend and girlfriend mean?" And Naruto says, "Well, I could ask my mom." And she says, and when you get the answer, would you be my boyfriend? And we're gonna kick that shy streak out of Hinata. So yeah, the shy streak is going to be ending in 2 days. And he says, "Yeah, I just gotta know." And he goes home, and Kushina knows. And Kushina grabs Naruto, and he's like, your first confession. You got confessed it, but you got your first confession by a girl. I love you." And P.S. Nagato has been getting love confession. He and Sasuke are, dreaming. So, background light scene, Sasuke and Nagato in a sleeveless shirt, animated quality, high quality. Let's not do this. And so yeah, Nagato gets a lot of confessions. So if we're going to put into that, Nagato likes ramen girl. That's Ichiraku's daughter. And I don't know if I'm gonna make it this, but I'm gonna think about it, and I'm gonna see if I'm gonna rip Nagato's heart out of his chest later. But we're not gonna make Nagato an evil dude. We're just gonna probably make him be the first one to get his heart torn to pieces. And yeah, so 2 days pass, and it's a it was a Friday, so 2 days have passed, Saturday and Sunday, because then this is where they don't have to go to school and they're home chilling. Naruto and Nagato went fishing with Sasuke, Itachi, and a few other Uchiha villagers, and they came back with a feast. But then, you know, Kushina wanted a family night with them both, so they took a few fish for themselves, some vegetables and other stuff, and they were talking about how school was, and teasing Naruto about his quote unquote new girlfriend, because then Kushina explains everything to him in the two terms of boyfriend and girlfriend, because they're two terms of boyfriend and girlfriend. They're one where you're interacting with kisses and hugs, and there's one where she's just a girl who happens to be your friend. They're not that. They're legit in a relationship, and she's going to get that surprise Monday. And they're chilling, and on Sunday she had to leave them, but they went to their training grounds, all the kids, including the Uchiha kids and some grown-ups, and they were doing their training. So their life is never like what it was when they were 5 years old, when they were kids. And 3 years have passed, and the life with the Uchiha and the Uzumaki running has been relatively peaceful, and no coup d'etat has broken out. And the Uzumaki, the Uchiha has adopted the "I don't care what you say, my boss is great" mentality. They're all for Kushina. Yeah, she does everything for them. She's like a Hokage for the Uchiha. They still respect her, but then she's hands on there, and she stopped working for Sarutobi, and she didn't get fired. She just she tried juggling the two, and it didn't work out. So she told Sarutobi that she's only going to focus on the Uchiha's necessities and stuff like that, and report to him on what they need. In she's basically the mayor of the Uchiha. So yeah, the head of the clan is still that guy, Sasuke's father. He's still, but he has to answer to Kushina, meaning she's the big boss. She does everything. And yeah, so come Monday, Naruto, Sasuke, and Nagato are walking, and they're silent, but they're talking in their head to Shidai, Kenma, and KJ Kurama Jr., and they're having a great time. They're roaming it up, and these are like Shidai, Kenma, and KJ. They're new tail beasts. They're new fox tail, nine tails, and they're just as naive and outgoing as their hosts, and so they're excited to see new stuff. Kurama Jr. in fact is a little bit like, he doesn't care, but when Naruto gets into his shenanigan, then you could really see Kurama Jr. shine, because he's seen the whole village. They've walked and seen everything in Konoha to, even board an elderly man. So, yeah. And they're talking and they're, teasing Naruto and stuff like that. And Naruto decided to ask Sakato what's her ideal boy, and she starts blushing and hits Naruto to the entrance of the school. And there he finally gets up. It didn't take long. It was like as he fell and slided and he got up, turned around and was trying to tell Sakato why did she hit him. She didn't have to hit him. He just asked what her perfect man would be. And as soon as he said this, he saw them stop, and Sakato put her hand to her mouth, and Nagato body flickers, and he's like, what's wrong? Is there a fat teacher behind me trying to poke me in the ear or something? And she says no, but there's a beautiful angel. And he turns around and he sees Hinata, and Hinata starts blushing, and Naruto, because Kushina says to him before that it's not to make her wait, and because she asked him not to answer, but to ask her if because then that would be manly. So ask her if she wants to be his girlfriend, and she asked him over and over if he likes her, what she likes about her, and he explained the beginning of the class. He saw Shadai talking to her, and she didn't show any malice, and he thought she was cute, so he explained, and she knows that he likes her, and she did the reference thing because she's the one who taught him this crap about, do you love ramen? And if you ever find someone, compare her to your favorite food. So Naruto, we're gonna say Naruto got the compare light to his favorite food to the girl. So yeah. And Naruto went up and held Hinata's hand and walked into the school compound, but went to the back of the shed. And Sakato, trying to be sneaky, followed them, and Nagato is doing a better job being sneaky, because then Naruto sees Sakato, but he doesn't know Nagato is up on the rooftop, and he goes on and he rubs his head. He turns around and kicks the sand, and Hinata is playing around with her fingers, like in canon, and he goes, Hinata, would you like to be my girlfriend? Believe it! Excitedly, and she's like, but I asked you if you would like to be my boyfriend, and he says, my mom says that how to be even manlier, I should ask you if you want to be my girlfriend, and if you if you turn me down, then I could just, you know, be a man about it. And she says, I would never turn you down. Never. In fact, I'm so happy I wanna cry. And she is crying. Don't joke, she's crying, and they don't kiss as yet. They're just kids. And now we're gonna give a time skip to the exam to the end. They're now 12 years old, and yeah, they did relatively well. And what else? I had the flow, but yeah, they did relatively well. And the teams are formed. Sad, but yeah. Hinata is placed in a team with Chonji, and Shikamaru. Team 7 is normal, Sasuke, Sakura, and there's not Naruto is not gonna be in Team 7, so they're going to get that other one side. Yeah, so Team 7 side, and Team 0 is the Naruto and his siblings. So yeah. So Team Zero's captain is going to be I forget that guy that can do the wood jutsu, but anyway, yeah, him. And since I don't remember his name right now, and I don't have another device to Google it, and I don't want to Google it on here, we're going to say I don't remember. So yeah, that's him, the guy with the wood jutsu. I mean wood style, and he's the instructor for Team 0, which is Naruto, Sakato, and Nagato. And the Land of Wave mission is not going to happen due to Naruto wiping out Gato's organization. Yes, he went on one of them, fall asleep, and end up in another village. So Zabuza is not going to be attacking them. In fact, they're not actually going to be going to the Land of Waves. Is it? Yeah, they're not going to be going to the Land of Waves to protect Kazuna this time. They're actually going to they're escorting Kazuna's daughter to the village. She came over to Konoha to ask for some materials in helping building the windmill and stuff like this and stuff and yeah, so that happened, and they do a couple more B rank mission and stuff, and here we're going to focus on the final exam. Yeah, yep. And since Naruto, and Sakato have high skills, their instructor told them about the tuning exam early, and they were excited and stuff like this. And Naruto decided to, bail out, and he's going to see his girl. Yeah, Naruto's going to see his boo 4 years into it. And, of course, Hinata's father, tried to have them break up and all sorts of stuff, like, send people after Naruto, but Naruto just, wiped the floor with them. And this is how, why Hinata is not shy any longer, and she almost renounced the Hyuga name, and Kushina told her not to wait till she is of age and she could marry into the Uzumaki, because she loves Hinata. She cares about him. In fact, she loves her because she loves her son, and it's a thing. She gives her advice in there together, and her father can't do shit about it, because then Kushina go whoop that ass. You think the Byakugan go do shit for him? No. And here they're not flexing their power like you would have if you had that type of power. No, they're more like, if you deserve to see it, you're gonna see it, but you're not gonna see it if you don't deserve to see it type people in this what if. And so Naruto went to Hinata, and they talked, and Naruto says that there's 2 more weeks before the tuning exam, and we should train together, and stuff. And they do this, and they all train. Everyone trains up. And one night they were walking to Naruto's house. Yeah, because Hinata just had a big fight with her father, because then he got news from one of his ninja that Hinata and Naruto were seen together, and he tried locking her in the room, but then she broke the window and she ran away. So they're walking out. Naruto's walking her to her room. She has a little bag. Magi, Nobuna, what the fuck? Why you wanna do that for? Why? Damn cat. But yeah, and Kushina hearing that Hinata's father tried to lock her up and tried to forbid her from seeing or dating Naruto, would get a little angry, but then she would not let her emotion take over her this night. In fact, her daughter-in-law is here, and she is just planning on throwing a big party. And this happened, and they're partying, they're talking, and she asked Hinata what she likes about Naruto and stuff, and Hinata, not shy, openly expressed what she likes about Naruto graphically, and Kushina be like, "You're a very naughty girl." Naughty girl, yes you are. And that happened. And before the end of the party, Hinata tried to sneak into Naruto's room, but then she felt a dark presence behind her. And when she turned around, it was Kushina, and she's like, "That's not happening in my house. Y'all better wait till y'all 18 and get your own crib." No, 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 Maggie. This is why I get no biscuits. Yeah, and we're gonna leave it off right here, because then I gotta do a little bit more research on this. I haven't rewatched Naruto for about a couple years, so if I'm planning on posting a what if every 4 days. So if I don't post in 4 days from when I post this, then I'm probably doing research to make a better what if, because I know the what if is kind of wanky. My second what if had a terrible background, and I noticed I'm just trying and seeing my style. So don't judge, and even if you do, I don't care. So this is what if Naruto and no, what if Naruto was triplet and Kushina survived? And I'll see you or talk to you another time. Have a great good night, good evening, and good afternoon.